China has a policy of their country that probably more than half of the world can identify by now, the one-child policy. Starting back up in the 1940s, China's leader, Mao Zedong, had actually encouraged the Chinese to have more children because of the fear that the United States and the Soviet Union would strike an attack. Every mouth comes with two hands attached, as he would always say to his people, even at one point deciding to ban birth control. Simply because of Zedong's paranoia, overpopulation slowly started to come in place. At first, he tried to convince the Chinese to stop having so many kids by saying, 1 is good, 2 is okay, 3 is too many. However, only so many people listened, which drove China into overpopulation. After Zedong's death, the Chinese government felt the need to start birth control back up again. Being not enough, the law was finally brought into the public's attention: only 1 child per family. Today, the law has been worked with here and there. A couple is allowed to have 1 child. If that child turned out to be a girl, they are allowed to have a second child. After the second child, they aren't allowed to have any more children. This is usually the only way people are allowed to have more than 1 kid. Couples with only 1 child are given a 1-child certificate entitling them to benefits such as cash bonuses, longer maternity leave, better childcare, and other gifts. In return, they are required to pledge that they would not have any more children. But for those who go over the limit, aren't going to be in the best situation. When people go over the limit, the government could start to take away family members and put them in jail temporarily, only until the woman agrees to go to the hospital, or the government police forcefully bring her to the hospital for a sterilization. The policy needs to come to an end. This policy may have a few advantages, but the damage it is doing is overpowering. Starting off, because having a boy in China is very popular, couples sometimes abort girls to make room for the boy in their life. The ratio of boys to girls in China is 120 boys to 100 girls, according to a Chinese think tank report. In 1999, 750,000 female fetuses were aborted just because of the want for a boy. This here is wrong and inhumane. Sadly, some women have no choice. They have to conclude for a forced abortion or forced adoption. One woman's story, Ai Li, said with her 3rd child in her stomach, she was kicked there by officials multiple times and woke up in a hospital bed with the baby gone. A few weeks later, she had realized they had sterilized her as well. As for the orphans, China alone already has 94 orphanages which are being filled with unwanted children. And for the couples that do end up following the rules as set, more pressure and stress will be set on the one child. When that child grows up, he or she will have to support his or her parents and grandparents. If they don't succeed or have a good job, how will they do? What will their life be like? Ultimately, it is not fair. The government should have no right to dictate how many children a family can have. This is stepping over too many personal boundaries. It is against any basic understanding of human rights. Yes, it is a way of limiting population, but it is an invasive way.